Hi, I'm Health Coach Penny, and I'm here at Olympia to put you through an introductory workout. Now, this workout is really meant for people who haven't been in the gym before or haven't really been in any gym before possibly, and they want to learn how to use the equipment. So there's a couple of things you really want to remember before we start. You want to make sure that you're breathing. If you're holding your breath, you're going to build up pressure in your brain. You might bust a blood vessel. So you want to make sure that you are breathing. There are rules on when to inhale and when to exhale, but we don't want to make this too difficult today. We'll reserve that for more advanced videos that I'm going to be making later. So just remember to breathe and do 2 seconds on the push or the pull and 2 seconds on the release. Now, whenever you go into most gyms, and especially upstairs here at Olympia, they usually have a whole line of machines, and they're set up in a certain order. If it's a good gym, it's set up in a certain order, where you start at one end and you'll work your way all the way to the opposite end. Now, here at Olympia, we have the first row of equipment, and that is, it starts with the upper body and works to the smaller muscle groups. So it starts with the big upper body muscles like the chest and the back, and then it works down to the shoulders, and then it works down to the bicep and tricep machines. So that's the first row. Those are the upper body machines. The row against the wall, if you start at the opposite end and work your way back here, it starts with legs. So you'll go from the leg equipment, and then you'll end up with some core equipment, some abdominals, a little low back. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you how to use some of these machines. And if you already are familiar with the machine, just fast forward. Great, let's get to it. Now we're going to start at the beginning of the line and work our way down through the machines. And like I said, if you're familiar with one, just fast forward through. Now, I'm assuming that you've already come in the door and you've warmed up for 10 minutes doing something, doing the treadmill, the elliptical, the stair climber, the rowing machine, just doing something to get your blood pumping, get the blood heated up, which it's heating up your body on the inside. And then if you want to do some mobility exercises to warm up your joints, you can do that too. There'll be another video that you can click on down below to check out the mobility workout that you want. Now, the first machine on the line is called the pec deck or the fly machine. This one is adjustable by pulling the tab down, pulling it forward if you don't have flexibility in the shoulders, or pulling it back on both sides for flexibility. I have flexibility in my shoulders, so I'm going to set it all the way back there. Now remember, it's 2 seconds forward, 2 seconds back. This one, you're supposed to put your hands in this position, so you're at almost a right angle on the arms. I've found that some people have a hard time with this movement. It hurts their shoulders. If there's any shoulder impingement, you can try varying your grip here, or here I call it hugging the machine. You can try that. But it's important also to set your shoulders. Set that ball and socket joint in place by squeezing your shoulder blades together before you start and entirely during the movement. Remember, I said it was 2 seconds on the release, 2 seconds on the squeeze. The seat is adjustable up below by just lifting on the seat, and it raises it up, or there's a handle to pull on and press the seat down. Very easy to use. Let's go on to the next machine. Now, this machine is a techno gym, and anywhere you see yellow, that's where it is adjustable. So you can actually push in the yellow 5 pounds to add 5 pounds, or pull it out to decrease 5 pounds. The seat is adjustable by the yellow tab underneath the seat, just by squeezing it, lifting it up, or squeezing it and pressing it down. It's very easy to adjust. Now, when you do the chest press, you'll notice 2 handles. This top handle is for people who really don't have bad shoulders, and they can handle the weight. So you push 2 seconds and release 2 seconds. You'll notice these other handles, I have my clients that have bad shoulders use the lower handles. Anytime you keep your elbows tucked in a little bit more and use this more of a parallel grip, that is a little easier on the shoulders. Same thing that I was telling you on the fly machine. You want to set the ball and socket joint of the shoulders, squeeze them together before you start the movement. Make sure you're breathing, and it's 2 seconds out, 2 seconds back. If the plates are hitting and they stop like that, if you're resting, it's going to be a lot harder, because every time the plates touch, it's like you're starting from the starting block every single rep. So you want to be aware that the plates aren't banging together, that you press out of the movement right before the plates touch. You want this full range of motion, and you don't want the plates clinging together. So that's the chest press. That just simulates a push-up, right? That's just a push-up, but if you're not strong enough to do a push-up, the chest machine will help get you there. So what we have next is the back machine. It's called a pull-down. Now, on all of these machines, you can just simply look at the pictures and it will show you how to use it. But I see a lot of people, because you can't really tell from the pictures, getting on this machine this way. But you really want to face into the machine, keep your chest against the pad. That'll ensure that you don't hurt your lower back. And remember, the seats are adjusted wherever you see the yellow. This seat is adjusted by the yellow tab underneath, simply by squeezing and pulling down, squeezing and pulling up. You can also add 5 pounds by pushing in, or add 5 pounds by pushing out. So we're going to set this up at about 40 or 50 pounds. That's a good starting weight. Push the seat down just a little bit. Whenever you do a back exercise, you want to make sure you're seated where your knees are placed underneath the pads. Your chest stays against the pad. Squeezing down slowly, 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. Full range of motion. Very nice. So that's how the pull-down machine works. So the next machine in the line is the shoulder press machine. And you'll notice that it has 2 handles. So when you sit down, if you have bad shoulders, it's better to take more of a parallel, closer in grip. If you have strong shoulders, you can take the wider grip. You also want to make sure that you press the lower back into the pad, because whenever you go over your head with the weight, it can add some stress to the lower back. So just remember, 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, and pause. That's the shoulder press machine. So what we have here is a little different brand of machine, but it's still a back row machine. So the seat, because it's a different brand, adjusts differently. You simply lift up to raise the seat. If you want to lower the seat, you lift up on the tab underneath, and then it just falls down. So I'm going to set the seat at right about where I know I need it. And this chest pad also adjusts. You want to pull it forward if you have long arms, and you want to shorten it if you have shorter arms. So I've got short arms, so I'm going to set it short. Same thing, the pad is there for a reason. You want to make sure that that stays against your chest at all times. If you have a cup, you can take a wide grip or a narrow grip. I personally prefer the lower grip. So just keep the chest against the pad, squeeze and hold, and release it slow. Remember, 2 seconds on the release, 2 seconds on the pull. Slow and controlled. If the plates are hitting the full extension, whoops, you know what that's going to mean? That means you need to bring that chest pad back a little bit further so that the plates don't touch at the full extension. So that's the back row machine. Now we've worked our way down to the smaller muscle groups, the biceps and the triceps. This is a bicep machine. Same thing, you adjust the seat by pulling up, or if you want it lower, you lift up the tab and put it down. Now, how do you know where to put the seat? Well, the seat should be adjusted where, if you're in this position here, your upper arm is almost parallel to the floor. In other words, if the seat is too low for me, it's going to be up into my neck. You know that's going to be low. Slowly lift it up. So it's nice in here, nice and snug. Lighten that up. So you want to put the palms up, grab the handles. When you're doing biceps, actually when you're doing any weight training, you want to make sure you don't do this a lot, that you're not moving the wrists around a lot. The wrists take a lot of abuse when you weight train. So especially on the bicep machine, you want to make sure you're keeping the wrist straight and not curling up every time you come up and wearing out your wrist. So I always tell people, pretend like you have an iron rod going straight through your forearm into your hand, keeping your wrist very straight. That also prevents you from hurting the soft tissue of the wrist. So remember, it's 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down. If it's hitting at the bottom, if the plates are touching and you're making noise like that, that means you're going too far. So you need to stop right before the plates hit. You'll figure that out as you go through the movement. So let's go on to the tricep. Now we're on the tricep machine. This is a machine I see people using incorrectly in here quite often, so I want to make sure you pay attention. Same thing on this machine as the other ones that are white and gray, is that you want to lift up on the seat, simply lift up to raise it, or pull on the hook underneath and lower it down, either one. But when you get into the seat, if you are too low on the machine, this is actually pretty good for me, you want your chest to be even with this. You want to scoot your body all the way in so that your chest touches the front of the pad. You'll lift these handles up. Like this up. So lift the handles up, press your chest into the pad, placing your elbows in each corner. Chest into the pad, elbows in each corner, ungripping the handles, pressing all the way down to the full extension and releasing slowly so that the plates don't touch. Squeeze and hold. So what you don't want is that. You don't want them to bang together. You want a full range of motion. 2 seconds on the release, 2 seconds on the contraction. Chest against the pad, elbows placed in here, and lift up the handles. Triceps. Now the last exercise in the upper body line of machines, in the upper body circuit, is the assisted chin and dip machine. This is unlike any other machine in that the more weight that you add, the easier it gets. So you may want to start at a number like 130 pounds and see how it works for you, and then adjust it as you go. Now the assisted chin and dip machine, between the pull-up and the dip, it works every single muscle in your upper body. It works all your pull muscles and all your push muscles. You may not feel comfortable using this, so you could skip it because you've been through all the muscle groups already if you go through the entire line as a circuit. So this allows you to do pull-ups, and it allows you to do dips with some assistance. Now if you don't need the assistance, you simply lift up and remove the knee pad. If the knee pad is down, just lift it up and you'll see how to hook it into place. Now we're ready to go. The easiest grip is the closer in grip. But you can take any hand position that you would like. So when you're getting on the assisted chin and dip machine, go ahead and grab the handles, placing the knees on the pad, slowly, figuring out what weight you use, all the way down, full extension, full contraction. We're still staying in the 2-second release and the 2-second pull. Slow, controlled movements. Not breathing, not holding my breath. You should be able to perform 8 to 15 repetitions. Now when you get off of this, it's really important that you get off when you're up here and just step off slowly and slowly release the weight back to its start position. If I get off the machine down here, this happens a lot and I don't want you to get embarrassed, and I don't want this to happen to you. If I were to get off the machine up here and now I'm stuck down here and then I get off, and if I release my knee, bam, it's going to make a lot of noise. So just remember, the most important thing to remember is when you're getting off the machine, make sure the knee pad is at the top. So now that is the pull-up. Now we're going to go into the dips. If you're a big guy, you go wide, wider shoulders. And if you're a little like me, you go the inside grip. It also works a little more triceps with the close grip, a little more chest with the wide grip. Same thing, place the knees on the pads, keep the body in a straight line, all the way in. If you want to work more triceps, you want to keep your elbows more back behind you. If you want to work more chest, your elbows will be out, more to the side, pointing to the side walls. And just remember, slow controlled movements, 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, full range of motion, coming up all the way to the top to step off, slowly releasing the weight. That's your assisted chin and dip machine.